Onpassive and the Thursday afternoon webinar. To start with, I want to tell you that not all webinars are great. And occasionally when you do a webinar, you get off the tracks and you start to go into uncharted areas. But anytime Ash does a webinar and he's talking, he gives some really good information. And if you listen close enough, you heard the really good news. And I want to start with the soft launch. And I want to apologize to everybody. I thought in my mind, this is me, this is not Onpassive, this is not Ash, that the soft launch would start Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Now, obviously, that did not happen. It is not Ash's fault. It is not Onpassive's fault. It is my fault, and I will take the blame for telling people that the soft launch would happen Tuesday or Wednesday. It just didn't happen. Now, the reason it didn't happen, it's not because Onpassive is not ready. The soft launch is ready to go. All they have to do is click a button, boom, it's done, and it starts. But what they're waiting for right now are the paper pushers. And I hate paper pushers because they delay things when it doesn't have to be delayed. But we live in a society where you don't do anything on a handshake. All the I's have to be dotted, all the T's have to be crossed. And right now, Onpassive and one of their vendors is just buttoning up the paperwork. And the paper pushers are pushing paper back and forth. That's why the soft launch has not happened. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. It's going to happen very soon. They're getting this stuff done. And as you think about the soft launch, just take a breath. The reason you thought it was going to happen this week is because of me, not Onpassive. And you can blame me. I'll take the heat for that. Have no problem with people coming at me and you shouldn't have done that. But that's fine. I'll take the blame for that. Come at me for that. Onpassive, they're right where they need to be. And the paper pushers, they're doing what they have to do. This is just the legal thing. As the soft launch is ready to go, Onpassive, they are going to test it for 24 or 48 hours just to make sure everything is running fine, pay processor's running great, and from there they will start to test everything in Onpassive. That's a really good thing. They need to do that. And as the soft launch starts, yes, he is going to run campaigns for all the existing founders to help build their team, start building their team now. So they're going to be testing everything. Do not worry about the soft launch, guys. This is not a big deal. It's just paper pushers. That's all it is. The soft launch is imminent. It's going to happen very quickly. I'm not going to give you a day because I already did that and got in trouble. It's going to happen very quickly. It's not going to be a month or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or a year down the road. That's not going to happen. The soft launch, it's imminent. It will happen. It could happen Monday. It could happen Tuesday. I don't know. But don't worry about it. Ash is going to come on. He's going to give us a little bit of notice. I'll come on and tell you, yeah, it's happening this day. Because Ash won't come on and give us a day unless it's the real deal and it's happening then. I'll probably do that video Monday, Tuesday, when he tells us when it's going to happen. I'll come on and tell you, and then again, we will rock and roll. There was some really good news within the webinar, and one of the things that I caught, Marty caught, Dan caught, really was exciting. Onpassive today, Onpassive, the hard launch of Onpassive, the actual launch of Onpassive, not the soft launch for the founding members and testing, but the actual hard launch of Onpassive. And this is super news, guys. This is really good news. Onpassive is completely, 100%, totally funded for the hard launch. Everything that they're going to do, everything that they need, it is in place today. All the money that they need is in place. And I'm not talking about a couple $100,000, guys. We're talking about some serious money here. Ash and his team have gotten that done. This is a really big deal. And moving forward, as we go into the hard launch of Onpassive, it's going to be extremely exciting. And again, as the soft launch comes to an end, Onpassive, Ash is going to come out and tell us, give us a date when Onpassive is going to launch. And when he gives us that date, And believe me, he's learned his lesson. He doesn't give dates anymore, and I shouldn't either. But he'll give us a date, and on that date, Onpassive launches to the world. Today, because the soft launch did not launch Tuesday, Wednesday, we have some additional time, not a lot, but some additional time for people to come in at that $97 level. Again, when we soft launch, the cost of the founder position goes up to $149. So the silver lining in my mistake is that we have some days left to bring people in at the $97 people. I can tell you people are coming in every single minute, every single hour, every single day, every single week in Onpassive Nation and in Onpassive. And it's really kind of a nice thing for people to be able to come in if they haven't yet at that $97 level. I know there are people out there where, you know, a $50 increase, it matters. Not a lot, but a few. And you have the opportunity to come in at the $97 position, lock $97 position, go founder position, lock your position in the pay structure of Onpassive, and then as they launch, the soft launch, they're going to start building your team. That's a really, really good thing. So the funding for Onpassive, as it launches to the world, it's a done deal. You ought to get really, really excited about that. That's a big, big deal because we're not talking about nickels and dimes. We're talking major, major money. And Ash Mufareh, he got it done. It's a done deal. So the last thing I want to talk about is the tools of Onpassive. Now, Ash was going to come on yesterday and do a presentation on the communication module of Onpassive, and because they just got sidetracked and took too long on the webinar. Webinar was about an hour, with 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. He didn't have time to do that. We will be talking to Ash this week and seeing if the next time he comes on, he can go over that module a little bit more in depth. He did that a little bit last week. Really, really exciting stuff. And we're hoping that he can come on next time he's on and talk a little bit more about the communication module, give a presentation, show what it looks like, that type of thing. But he talked about the tools of Onpassive. And guys, you're in for a really, really big treat when this thing launches. These tools are just awesome. And as customers get a hold of these tools, the old saying, they will never leave. It's absolutely true. So that's kind of boiling down what the webinar was about, the important points in that webinar, what I just went over, a little over 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And really that's all they had to take. But don't worry about that. Ash, when he talks, he elaborates, and that's a good thing. I love to hear Ash talk. There were some other things that they just got sidetracked. That's not a big deal. It happens to me before. It's happened to me before. It'll probably happen again. And when it happens, you get back on the bike and you start riding again. It's just the way it is. So that's it for today, guys. The webinar overall was really, really good if you picked out the fine points, and the rest of it, don't worry about it. We're rocking and rolling. We're moving forward. We're going to build our team. Onpassive is going to build their team. And as we get closer to the launch, as we launch Onpassive to the world, our team, the founders in Onpassive, get ready because you are going to roar. It's going to be awesome. So that's it for today. As we learn more from Ash, I'll be on early next week, and I'll tell you when the soft launch will happen. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I recommend you do that. Click the bell on the right because I will have an update when we know when the soft launch is going to happen in the next few days. So that's it for today, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll chat with you next week. Take care. Bye.